You hit me with a couple of them, or you missed me with all of them. Now what? You know what I'm saying? So, that part, it could go either way. But I still think it's going to be, you're going to see some good, smart boxing tomorrow night.
Well, how do you... now, I came up with the hypothesis earlier. Now, how did, those power punchers, like, how do you get as a boxer to make the power punchers stop being as aggressive as they were? We talked about it earlier.
Beating them to the punch.
Yeah.
Beating them to the punch. And when I say beating them to the punch, as they get off one punch, you're letting go 2 or 3 on them. And yeah, some of them they're going to land. Some of them going to land. But you got to understand, too, when you get big power punchers that miss, that takes a lot out of them. You know what I'm saying? So even if you catch me with one, you can catch me with one to the body, and I may drop into my body, but I can come back with boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? And get out of there. And not show, or let on right then and there that it's affecting me. Yeah, sometimes some body punches don't hit you until 5 minutes later. You're like, what? Damn. You know what I'm saying? But you get big punches like that, and they're trying to bust your kidneys up or whatever. Listen, the thing is again, I do believe in the saying, hit and not get hit. Not that you're not going to get hit, but why am I going to get in the ring with you and say, all right, yeah, put it there, to prove to you that I can take a punch? No. And I don't really care what people say as far as, man, you don't like to get hit. You damn right.
Nobody does.
And neither do you. That's why you're not in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So It's like, hey, it's people keep forgetting. It's still a sport. It's still a sport, and that's the importance of it, and that's why we get away from good fights in different weight divisions and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a lot of it becomes commercial with, protecting your fighter, and people say, oh, he's a cherry picker, or he picks fights and this and that. Hold on. You know what? Let's get a fight that's fair. It's going to be evened up. You hitting good, I'm hitting good, but no, I'm not for trying to prove to anybody that I can take a punch. And as far as a power puncher, yeah, I'm going to try to hit you first. If I see you're a big puncher, yeah, I'm going to try to get the punch off, and then I'm going to be on the other side of the ring. Tell me this way, I'm going to try to set it again, So, I mean, that's what's important. People forget that it's a sport, especially people that don't participate in the sport, all the way around. I mean, that's anything, even the sport of football, boom, these guys are getting hit, baseball, these guys are getting hit with pitches. Like, that's like one thing I don't think I could ever take, is being hit with a baseball in 95, and the dude is just like, give me another baseball. Yeah. So, and that's the whole thing. But in the sport, yeah, you get big power punches. And then another thing, one of the worst things is when you get somebody that punches super, super fast. And you got a mediocre speed, and you trying to get, and he da-da-da-da. But, that pisses you out too. Yeah. So, but for the most part, yeah, it's a tough game. But I definitely see, I see these guys fighting a good fight. Actually, I got respect for both fighters, big time. But will I go with Ward? Absolutely.
I think we're right there.
Yeah,
I think
we're,
we agree. If I had to, pick him Ward by decision, I think it's a solid move. We're talking about the Vegas odds today.
Yeah.
Ward is anywhere from minus about 110 to minus 145 to 150. By minus 150 or minus 110, that minus is how much it's going to take for you to win $100. So minus 145 is you put up 145 to win $100. All right. So, for example, extreme Tyson, when he fought Buster Douglas, you would have had to put $10,000 down to win 100. That's how big that that upset was. But here, Vegas is basically like I looked on a couple sites today. They got the Ward by decision option at plus 105. So they're essentially taken off points for the improbable, and I'd say darn near impossible, Ward by TKO.
Right.
I don't see that happening. If it does, hey, at least I'm kind of right. But I'll take Ward by decision. Now, to put a finer point on it, I think that Ward dictates distance by getting Kovalev's respect early by a shot, like you said.
Right.
By getting a shot in early that makes Kovalev kind of stop in his tracks, and then Ward feints off of what he hit him with.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Ward feints, Kovalev's got to respect it.
Right.
What could work against Ward's favor, and he's training for this, is that what if Ward tries to get his respect with a significant shot and Kovalev's like yeah,
Right.
then he's screwed.
Right.
But I don't think that'll be the case. Ward looks like he's sitting down on his shots more. So, once Ward gets Kovalev to respect the feint, then he dictates the distance, he dictates the pace. That's how guys like Mayweather and Hopkins have dictated the pace in their fights for years. 20 years we're talking about. So I see Ward doing that. Now, he might leap inside to throw a combination, or he might just leap inside just to hold him. Kovalev won't know what he's going to do because he'll probably alternate. Mm-hmm. And then, once you start to grab in the puncher's got to waste energy to get his hands free.
Exactly.
That's going to build up that lactic acid in his arms.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to have the punches that he did in the 10th round that he had in the first round. So what does the power puncher do? He knows this, and he's like, well, I'm not going to press the fight anymore.
Right.
And that's what happens around the 6th, 7th, 8th rounds of Mayweather's fights. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you're going to see Andre Ward backing Kovalev up because Kovalev doesn't want to get grabbed.
Right.
And he doesn't want an inside fight either because Kovalev, I don't think, is a good inside fighter. I don't know. Better yet, in the tapes I've seen, I haven't seen him do much inside fighting. And even if he did, I think Andre Ward is a much better inside fighter than Kovalev is. So, I think ideal scenario, 8th, 9th round, Ward starts backing him up on, 8, and he ends up winning a decision 8 rounds to 4. I think that's probably what we're going to see. What do you think about that hypothesis? That's what I got in my head. What do you think?
A4 is definitely good. I definitely see an A4. The only way, like I had said earlier when we had discussed that I saw a 7-5, is if those two came out being really aggressive with one another. Mm-hmm. Really aggressive with one another, or either not aggressive at all. And a steady feel, a steady pop, a steady, who's popping, who's moving forward, who's moving backward. Then that's going to come down to who looked like they were the most busiest at this point. So if one sets the tone with a big punch, or they set a tone with a big punch with each other, and they're both a little bit giving each other a little bit too much respect, mm-hmm. as far as who's moving, not wanting to be hit by the other, then yeah, that could be shaky, because then you talking judges picking bullshit, basically mm-hmm. for, this fight or that fighter. It just depends on who's favoring who. But a good fight I definitely see at 8-4. Yeah. A good fight I definitely see at 8-4. And a good aggressive fight I see, a part of it, that could be a 7-5. Like who's coming out there banging. Mm-hmm. Until they both, get that little monkey off of them and they a little bit chill and not with boxing. But I definitely don't see Ward trying to take that type of fight, and I don't think Dude will take that type of fight. I think Ward is in better shape than he is personally. Mm-hmm. That's just my opinion. I think Ward is in much better shape, mentally and physically for this fight. You know what I'm saying? We fight with emotions too, but I still think Ward is in a lot better shape. I just see him being in better shape, than this guy is. This guy is just prepared to hit hard. You know, he's prepared to hit hard. He's prepared to try to knock you out. But, you know, is he prepared mentally to go from plan A to plan B to plan C? You know, what are your plans? You know, is he prepared that way? You know, is he prepared for a lot of physical movement? You know, a lot of physical contact, being physically contacted, not just dropping a big right hand. You know, this game is very, very mental. You know, you definitely have to have, you know, plan A through Z. Mm-hmm. You know,
Andre Ward's got more options.
And he's got a lot more options. You know, his adjust rate is way higher than Kovalev's. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you that he'll be able to adjust. You know, if dude changes his style each round, trust me, he's gonna be able to adjust. You know, and he'll make one of his styles well enough that it'll take on 3 different styles. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of times you don't have to adjust right away. You know, when you see a guy automatically switching. And when you see a guy automatically switching what they're doing and switching their style, they're not sure in the first place of what they're doing or of their game plan. You know, so a lot of times you'll see a guy come in and they'll start and right away they're switching to southpaw. But for what? Because your left-hand jab was actually working.
Yeah.
But you're not sure what you're doing, so you want to start switching. And you want to start switching. The next thing you know, you're giving your opponent an option to try to, okay, well, after this guy throws this combination, he's going to switch to a southpaw. I'm going to be waiting on him. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of that plays a difference, you know. And then, you know, being physically and being physically conditioned, you know, for these fights is super, super important. You know, a lot of guys, you know, they do their basic old regimen, you know, go for their 3-mile run, 6-mile run. They do their bag work, do their pad work, and their spar. You know what I'm saying? And do, you know, some crazy ab routines. You know, but a lot of fighters are not doing is conditioning their whole body. Why? Because it takes your whole body, mind, and soul to win a fight. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is one of the things that I seen, you know, when I was training guys for the Glory Kickboxing Tournament. You know, we went out and trained in Cali. We went to different places, you know, and you know, Midwest, honestly, yeah. Our Midwest guys, we got to catch up. You know what I'm saying? We definitely got to catch up. I mean, we got great guys here, you know, but, you know, it's a difference, you know, and I know I've seen some awards routines in his workouts. Yo, no, he's training the whole body. You know, he's training the whole body. So I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of it, you know.
And coming from personal experience, this dude was doing CrossFit a good 15 years before it got famous.
Nice.
It was. Some of the stuff that you were doing, I remember first training with you, I was 17. This was 12 years ago. And you had already been doing it for a long time. Mm-hmm. But he was doing, you know, the what's the thing? The battle ropes, that stuff.
It's been out for a long time.
All the CrossFit stuff he was doing pre-2000.
Exactly.
So, you know, a lot of boxers are doing, like you said, the basic old Rocky, go in the woods and hit wood with an axe and
chop wood.
And that stuff doesn't really work as well as people think it does.
I mean, and it's not bad. It's not bad. If you're gonna go in the forest and chop wood, you know what? Chop 100 trees. You know, if that's what you're gonna do, chop 100 trees. You know, get 50 trees.
Do 20 burpees.
Right.
In between.
Yeah. In between each. You know what I'm saying? You know, chop 20 trees, 20 burpees. Then go run 2 miles through the forest. Then come back and do it again.
Yeah, circuit work.
You know, then come back and do it again. You know, and it's not to say, you know, it's no downplay on our places here in Chicago. You know, we got good places. We got good places. One of the differences is there's so much other shit to do here in the Chi that you easily get sidetracked. That's why you get a lot of fighters that you know, go up to Big Bear and you know, just go way out because you know what? That's what it takes. Because it's so easy to say, hey, you know what, bro, we can ready to go down here and have a pizza and a couple beers. No, man, I got to train. Bro, you already underweight. Ooh. Next thing you know, bam, you're off. You see what I'm saying? It's so easy to fall off your game. And that's what it takes. It takes discipline. It takes dedication, you know. And then, you know, some fighters feel like, you know, their trainers got, you know, they got the best regimen. You know, me, I support and look up to all trainers. But whatever you do, everybody's got something to add to the pot. You know, everybody's